Hi there and welcome to my channel. Today's project is for the Vicki Boutin design team, and this week we are working a color challenge. And if you know me, then you know that I love color. I love vibrant colors, and this is right up my alley. So I am going to create something that's really bold, very simple, and that is going to document something that it wasn't that happy time in my life. So the inspiration besides the color challenge are going to be the shape of the cup of coffee, and also this paper from Color Kaleidoscope, and that has all the circles that are kind of concentric, they're joined together, they touch each other, and they have the watercolor look. So to create this, I am going to use a foundation paper that I'm not, yes, this is just plain foundation paper, and I'm going to use a circle template. And I picked up the circle template from Michael's. It's in the area where all the draft books and all the, I'm going to say, drawing utensils are, not utensils, but all the tools. I use it a lot, especially when I'm creating cut files. It helps me keep everything nice and round. So all I'm going to do, is use it to create 3 groups of circles. You're going to see that I'm kind of placing them one at the top, one at the bottom, and one in the middle. And it's going to be pretty much in one column. I'm going to say towards the left center part of the page. So some of the circles are going to be, I'm going to use different sizes of circles. Some of them are going to be joined, some of them are going to be touching each other, some of them are going to intersect each other. And this is a great way. Like I said, I love that paper, and I wanted to recreate something like that on my page using the colors. You're going to see, like I said, once I have them all in place, even I have some circles coming off the page. So that means that only a piece of the circle is going to show. But once I'm happy with that, I use a 2H pencil, which is a hard lead, and it's not going to show when you add the watercolor. So just keep that in mind. So once I have that in place, I'm actually going to bring a piece of foundation paper and I put the acrylic sheet on top of it. And that way I'm going to get to the true color that I'm using to make sure that I have the right color. And I'm going to use my watercolor markers. I have blueberry pie for the blue, plum pudding for the purple. For the pink, I'm using sugar strawberry with a little bit of color macaroon just to give it that warmer. I forgot what the orange watercolor name is. The yellow is crushed pineapple, and the teal is a blue Hawaiian. And you're going to see that a little bit of the pigment is going to go a long way. So the way to create this look is by flooding the circles. So I'm going to have a container with lots of clean water. And pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to color or paint the circle with water, plenty of water. And then I'm going to add the pigment to it, kind of flood, kind of drop it in the circle. And it's gonna expand with the water that is inside the circle. I'm gonna help it with my brush just to make sure that it goes to the edges. I'm okay. It's not not a straight circle, but it's like a super round circle. I'm okay with that. And then I'm gonna use my heat gun. Once, because I want to set the color in place. Also, because the heat gun is gonna help me move the pigment just to give it a more. Think of it of a haze. Think of it of I don't know, think of alcohol inks, you know how they have that little rim. I want to create that look on my page, and that's why you need a heat gun, because it's going to help you set the color. Another reason why I'm using the heat gun is because I don't want the watercolor to completely soak into the paper, otherwise it's going to warp the paper really bad. Using the heat gun, it is going to warp the paper, but it's not going to be as bad as if I let it soak completely. And another reason why I'm using the heat gun, in my case, is because I want to speed up the process. And when I use the heat gun, I am setting the color. I'm not completely setting, but enough to be able to work the next circle that's next to it. When I add the water for the next circle, remember I have to flood the area. I am going to activate a little bit of the color that I already had in the previous circle in this case, but it's not going to be as bad. And I'm okay if the colors mix, because I want that look, but I don't want it to. If I were not to have used my heat gun, the color will still be a little bit, I'm going to say, wet. So when I color the next circle, I add water, the color will just continue flooding where the water is at. So if by heating it up, setting it a little bit, and it is when I add the next circle, the water into the next circle, it's not going to activate. It's going to activate, but it's not going to flood the circle completely. I hope you understand. You're going to see that where I'm working, it's better that you see what I'm doing, and you're going to understand better what I'm trying to say. But Again, I'm going to show you a little bit. I filmed the entire process. It did take a while, so I decided to cut some of the video and speed up quite a bit to show you pretty much what it came together. And once I have all the circles in place, I am actually going to add a little bit of splatters, fine splatters, just around each of the colors. So if I'm using teal, I'm adding a little bit of teal splatters in the area, and so on. And I'm going to continue working. I'm going to make sure that I have all the colors that I'm using in each one of the groupings. I honestly have to say that I love how this turned out. It's very vibrant. I don't mind the colors. I've always said I'm not afraid of color, but if you find it very vibrant and you think it's too, I'm gonna say too loud for some people, all you have to do is just, instead of adding the pigment straight from the marker or from the acrylic sheet, just add a little bit of water to the pigment on the side before you add it into the flooded circle. That's just gonna take some of the vibrancy and gonna make it a little bit lighter. Is that what you want? But otherwise, this is super simple to put together. It's gonna give you the marble look. It's gonna give you the ink, the alcohol ink kind of look. I know that Leanne had worked something similar in a triangular shape, but I wanted something that kind of mixed the colors together. You're gonna see that in some areas where the colors, where the circles kind of meet or kind of join, you get that little definition of different colors, and I love it. Like I said, I love how it turned out, and it is vibrant, but I wanted something really fun and vibrant to document the picture of my 3 weeks of like being pretty much non-functioning unless I had coffee and medicine on. So again, you're gonna see that I just play with the color. You're gonna see that in some areas or in some circles that I bring extra water, and in some circles that I bring extra pigment, just because I want to create that kind of marble-ish watercolor look in each one of the circles. And then I'm just gonna add my splatters, and then I'm gonna set it aside to dry. Even though pretty much all of it is dry, I'm gonna set it aside to dry so it completely sets the color before I go into the next part of my background. And because I'm talking about coffee and circles, I wanted to create, the rings that you have left in the table sometimes when your coffee spills, which means my table's full of it, especially when I do mixed media work, because I have always a cup of coffee next to me. So I went looking for my stencil, my little junk journal with the stencils, because I knew that in Field Notes collection there was one of the stencils had all those concentric rings that look like coffee spills. So I went looking for one this all dried, and I wanted to bring those to sell the idea of coffee. So I played a little bit outside of the camera to get the color that I wanted using my glazes. So you're gonna see this is the stencil I'm talking about, and then I'm gonna bring gold and rose gold stencil. Iridescent glazes, and I'm gonna mix them together to get to a copperish tone. When I mix them together based on the amount of gold or rose gold that you get, you're gonna get like an orangey tone. I mixed enough of the colors to get to like a very dark copperish tone. You're gonna see that when I use it on white, it's gonna look like I'm gonna say it looks like a cappuccino. So all I'm gonna do is when I have it together, I'm gonna use my small stencil brush just because I wanna add fine. I don't wanna add a lot of texture, but I wanna add a fine image onto my layout. And for that, I am picking a little bit of the mix, and then I'm going in a circular motion on top of the area that I want, or I'm gonna say the image that I wanna create on my layout with the brush and circular motion. That's gonna leave the impression. Now, I'm not using all the circles, so you're gonna see that I move the stencil around. What I want mostly are the rings and the little spills. And you're gonna see that I move it around, and I'm gonna add my brown rings or my glaze rings in the areas where I had the white space in between the circles. So kind of these rings are gonna join the circle groups together. That's what the way I'm gonna think about it. And I'm gonna set it aside to dry. It takes no time for this to dry because this is a dry application and a very fine application. And while that was drying, I went and pulled some of my color kaleidoscope papers because I know I want to add a few papers behind it. And I'm going to use scraps. I'm going to use one of the yellow papers I'm going to bring Field Notes just because it had that tone of yellow that I'm looking for. But what I'm going to play with a lot is craft. And there's quite a bit of craft paper or that look in a color kaleidoscope, especially because I want to bring you know, I want to pick up on those little circle, on those little stencil lines that I created, that coverage tone. And for that, I'm bringing craft. You're gonna see that I play with layers of paper just to add some interest behind the layout. And then to bring some of the colors that I have on the background, I'm gonna fussy cut a heart of each one of the colors from the color challenge, from the 12 by 12 paper from the color kaleidoscope that has all the rainbow hearts. I'm fussy cutting one of each of the colors, and I'm gonna use them kind of to create my visual triangle on the page. So you're gonna see that I have already added my picture, or attached my picture, sorry, to the page using a little bit of foam adhesive. So I'm gonna add foam squares behind my hearts just to prop them off the page, and also to create some dimension and a bit of separation in between them. So I've added my two hearts kind of on a diagonal on the page, and then I'm gonna add my other two hearts at the top of the layout. And that's gonna create my visual triangle and actually give me the perfect spot for my title. So one of the things that I wanted to for my title, something that was gonna break the circles that I have in the background, and something that was craft. So I went into my little color kaleidoscope chipboard, and I found this one that said make good use of today. And I thought that was a perfect title because, like I said, I lived on coffee and cold medicine for 3 weeks. It was that bad. And after that, you're gonna see that all the decorations that I bring into my layer are either gonna be circles or little square boxes that remind me of the title. And I'm gonna use a lot of craft, a lot of black and white, and I'm gonna say a little bit of those puffy circles in different with little pops of the colors that I have on the background. But that's about it. Now, one of the things that I actually went and pulled is from Field Notes collection. The chipboard sticker had a lot of questions, like, you know, said what, who, where, stuff like that. And I knew I wanted to use them here because, like I said, when you are running fevers or you're drinking cold medicine, it kind of makes you a little bit fussy. And so a lot of times there was a question mark where I was standing because I was how sick it was. So I'm gonna add the little chipboard stickers throughout the circles. It's gonna break up some of the circle, like, you know, the roundness of the layout in this case, and it's also gonna kind of bring the same shapes that I have already on the layout. And just to bring a little bit extra attention to them, I'm gonna bring some of the stars from the cardstock stickers. They have that little holographic look, and I think it's gonna be good. This layout needs a little bit of shine. After that, I'm gonna add my lines to journal right underneath the title, perfect spot. There's quite a bit of white space, and then I'm gonna bring a little bit of black, and for that I'm using a little bit of art crayon that I diluted with some water, and then just splattering them on the page. I love how this turned out. Honestly, I love the background. Even though it's vibrant, I love it. I'm not afraid of color. I love the fact that it's about coffee, one of my favorite things in the world. There's a lot of color. Another thing that I love a lot, black and white with a punch of color. What else can I ask you? And this was all created with these products. Like I've always said, make sure you check them because there's so much you can do. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. And I hope to see you next week. Take care, guys.